Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the WWE Super Showdown review. I was going to give you guys a prediction preview video, but I just was so tired from work and stuff going on in my life, I just never got around to it. But I did went ahead and take the time out of my life to wake up literally at 4:45 in the morning to watch this event live instead of watching it later on tonight around 8 o'clock or 7. Did I think the show was at all worth anything? It was fun, but personally, if I was to pay this on pay-per-view, I'd be extremely pissed off. This was not pay-per-view worthy. It felt like an event that happened in a big stadium with the level of what you would expect on regular television. That's very sad in itself. I really did not like that. There were good moments. The first two matches were awesome. I really enjoyed watching both of those matches. The tag team match for the SmackDown Championship was awesome. I really enjoyed it. It was very old school, classic wrestling tag team action. But my issue with it was Cesaro and Sheamus not winning. That was my only beef with that matchup. But other than that, the match was outstanding. Very entertaining. Very good opener. Match after that with Charlotte and Becky Lynch for the Women's Championship. Did not agree where this title match was positioned on the show. But still at the same time, it was a good match in itself as well. So good back-to-back action. But after that, the show kind of went downhill a little bit. It kind of picked up when they got to the Cruiserweight Championship matchup between Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander, which I'll get into because that was a lot of fucking entertaining shit. There was a lot of good spots. Fans were very much into it. But I gotta say something about this before I go into further detail in any other matches and stuff like that. I have to say something. I think WWE needs to find a new location for their regular shows. And I think Australia is the perfect place for them because apparently anything WWE did for them on this show, they were saying this was awesome. Like the Dogs of War with Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre versus The Shield with Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. They were chanting, "This is awesome," and nothing was happening. I think there was one moment in a match they chanted, "Holy shit." Oh yeah, that was during the Undertaker Triple H match, where where Undertaker hits Triple H with a chair, and they chant, "Holy shit." Why are they chanting, "Holy shit"? That's nothing special. You've seen a guy get hit with a chair a million times in the back. What the fuck is wrong with this crowd? Were they just fucking around or were they serious? If they were serious, I think WWE needs to take their show to fucking Australia and they'll get a better reaction with the crowd. I mean, I don't even think I heard any boos for Roman Reigns even for this event, which is kind of fucking weird in itself. But hey, what are you gonna do? So getting into the list of matches here, I already stated I liked the match with Becky Lynch and Charlotte. I liked the SmackDown Tag Team Titles match. The next match after that with Bobby Lashley and John Cena versus Kevin Owens and Elias. Could you book this matchup any more fucking pathetic than you already did? I mean, one, you didn't have John Cena in any kind of promo backlash talking vids of any kind with Elias and Kevin Owens with Bobby Lashley. Not one image of him, not even a social tweet was made on social media by John Cena. Nothing. He was completely silenced. Then he shows up, does nothing at all, comes in, hits a couple of shoulder shots to Elias, hits the attitude adjustment, and then hits him with this new famous move part that he's calling the 6 moves of doom now. where he punches his opponent in the face, and then he gets the finish and the 1, 2, 3. You fucking kidding me? Could you kill Elias any more than you've already had? Seriously. Like, Elias has done nothing. He does a lot of good promos and, interacting with the crowd and stuff with his music. He actually did a AC/DC Thunderstruck type shit, little solo there before the match started and everything with Kevin Owens. I thought that was cool, but everything else, and he actually did botch a little later on during the guitar playing, which I thought was funny, and people didn't even notice it, say anything, like go, ooh, or some kind of shit like that. Any kind of reaction would have been nice. This match was crap. Bobby Lashley did all the work, and he looked like garbage in it. Freaking Elias and Kevin Owens, I honestly think these two need to be a tag team and actually win the tag team titles on Raw. I think they need to get them some couple of wins against some legitimate tag teams at this point and form them as a tag team. Because this shit with what they are doing with Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler with the Shield of Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose is getting kind of stale. They need somebody new. I think probably would be really good for them. You want to give Chad Gable and Bobby Roode somebody to work with for a little bit. Instead of Victor and the other douchebag, the Ascension, having them work with Chad Gable and Bobby Roode, how about having Elias and Kevin Owens compete against them and establish them as a tag team and be one of the first victims that they beat, and then move along to other tag teams and beat them as well to their top, to get to the top as number one contenders to face whoever's tag team champions later on this year. I think that would be a better idea for them to do, but what the fuck do I know? But this matchup was absolute crap. 100% pure garbage. Asuka and Naomi facing the Iconics. It was a little bit of an entertaining matchup. I will give them that. I was not entertained on what they've done on SmackDown alone. But what they did on this show, tag team-wise, was pretty decent. It wasn't bad. And they got the win in their own country, so that was pretty cool in itself. I have no beef with that. They don't do that too often anyway, having the hometown hero coming into their place and winning in their own hometown. So I give them props for doing something like that. I have no problem with that. What I do have a problem with is the WWE Championship match. That was actually the biggest disappointment on the whole fucking card. Reason being is because AJ Styles won. And it's not even just the fact he won, it's how he won. He won by submission. Now you gotta be fucking kidding me right now. The man beat your ass at the freaking Hell in a Cell pay-per-view decisively. Decisively. This one, it was back and forth, and AJ had the advantage later on after a small mishap. He landed on his knee, and Samoa Joe landed on his knee on the table off the top rope, and there was an issue. So from that point, well, actually no, it was an electric chair finisher, electric chair move that Edge used to do back in the day, and he landed the wrong way and hurt his knee. Now, clearly, I didn't see anything wrong with it. It was a storyline injury. It had to be, because there is no fucking way, the way he landed, it looked like as if he hurt his knee. Now, if he did, boy oh boy, is Samoa Joe fucking fragile as shit. But then again, he's a little tubby, so what are you gonna do? But bottom line, man, Samoa Joe is on a fucking tear, and I beginning of this matchup, the moment they were doing their entrances, I said to myself, I will not be surprised they make AJ Styles retain this motherfucking title. And that's what they did. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And to be quite frank with you, I don't really care at this point. The match wasn't even close to what Hell in a Cell was like. Their matchup at Hell in a Cell pay-per-view blew this one out of the fucking water. Hands down. Very disappointing matchup. The next matchup after that was the Bella Twins with Ronda Rousey against the Riot Squad. And Liv Morgan actually appeared at this event regardless of the head injury she received 2 weeks ago. And I gotta tell you, I really think that whatever they do with Ronda Rousey, please don't make it Nikki Bella. Please don't make it her. She does not need to challenge for the women's championship. If you saw what Ronda Rousey did at this event, or get to see it later on tonight, if you didn't wake up to actually watch it, which if you didn't, I don't blame you. It's very early. I kind of just made this a committed thing to do for my YouTube channel. But bottom line, guys, Ronda Rousey smeared all three women on the Riot Squad and made them look like chump change. There is nothing in my mind that can make me believe that any woman on the Raw roster, unless they're a technician wrestler like Natalya, can give me a believable match with Ronda Rousey. Bottom line. There's only a few women that come to mind that could give her a really good match and make it believable with her. Three come to mind right now. Asuka, Charlotte, and Natalya. That's it. Because they're technician wrestlers, and Asuka's actually more, she kind of blends into the MMA type stuff too. So, all that withstanding, that would be what of a matchup for Ronda Rousey to have. But based on wrestling ability alone, no one on any roster for Raw or SmackDown stand a fucking chance against her. Believably. They have to cheat to win. There's no fucking way they could actually beat her in a believable fashion cleanly. No way. And she clearly displayed that at this event. For her to have to defend her title against an opponent like Nikki Bella just sickens me. Because Ronda Rousey is far beyond a woman wrestler. She is better than just a woman wrestler. She's a fucking athletic woman. She could go into any sport she would want to and probably succeed at it. Because she's really athletic. These women aren't really athletic. That's why they don't give us the same kind of reactions that the men do for us. So, sorry to tell you guys, but you ain't got much of a choice with Ronda Rousey outside of giving her a more believable opponent for us to even care about Ronda Rousey's matches, because all you're going to do is have squash matches. Because if you have serious matches, nobody's going to buy it. It's gonna make her look crappy, and it's going to make people dislike the fucking opponent that she's facing. Because they believe that they're getting special treatment by the WWE because they put that opponent up against Ronda Rousey. I think that's fucking ridiculous. So, you guys got a lot of work to do with Ronda Rousey finding a good opponent for her to face and having people enjoy it. Because Nikki Bella ain't the fucking choice for that shit. Sorry to tell you. But yeah, Ronda Rousey, the Bella Twins, they win their match. And here's the other thing. The Bella Twins and Ronda Rousey are actually seem to come across on television good friends. So why would you put them in a one-on-one matchup anyway? They have no friction going on with each other. Unless you're going to have Nikki Bella turn on Ronda Rousey. That makes a lot of fucking sense. Yeah. Sure. Okay. From there, the Cruiserweight Championship match with Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander. I was hoping Cedric Alexander would retain the title because he's one of my favorite Cruiserweight wrestlers in the WWE. I followed him in Ring of Honor as well, and I really enjoyed his wrestling ability and his in-ring performances over the past several years. But him losing to Buddy Murphy in Buddy Murphy's hometown of Australia, I had no problem with it, especially the way Buddy Murphy impressed the living hell out of me. This guy did some really off-the-wall shit, and it was entertaining and kept my interest in the match from beginning to end with Cedric Alexander. So, my props to him, most definitely. I can't wait to see him in future matches. on pay-per-views. I may even tune into cruiserweight shows just to see how well he's developed or how well he's doing, and see how they build with Cedric Alexander and Buddy Murphy later on if they do any more further matches with each other. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye on that possibly at certain points during the weeks of cruiserweight action. Or just get information on it, whatever. But I really enjoyed this match. It really was a uplifting moment within the match card, but then we go right back to wrestling hell with the Shield versus the Dogs of War with Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre. This whole entire match was boring as fuck. I was looking at my cell phone the whole entire time, checking what time it was, seeing how much more of this show I had left to watch. Yeah, that's how fucking sad and pathetic this really was. I really was not impressed whatsoever with this matchup. Everything that happened in this match was pathetic. The fans were quiet as mice, and on top of it, they were chanting, "This is awesome," when the match was shit. Makes a lot of sense. That's why I'm saying Australia is the best place for WWE, because their audience doesn't mind whatever the fuck you give them, apparently. Whatever. So basically this matchup really was building around Dean Ambrose trying to turn heel again and all that. They were showing shades of a more storyline progression of that with Dean Ambrose, and I do appreciate that, but Dean Ambrose should have turned at this event. Honestly, I think Roman Reigns being in the middle of the ring, possibly getting a way to finally win the match for his team, maybe against Braun Strowman, and he looks like he's promised to win this matchup with a Superman punch, and then out of nowhere, while Roman Reigns is in their corner, Dean Ambrose comes out of nowhere, grabs him by the puts him in dirty deeds, hits the finisher and walks away, and has Braun Strowman pin Roman Reigns, while Seth Rollins runs over to talk to Dean Ambrose about what the fuck he just did and not pay attention to the match, and Braun Strowman gets the win for his team. That's how I would have booked this ending. But that's not the case. Instead, Dean Ambrose gets the victory for his team on Dolph Ziggler, hitting dirty deeds. There was an inadvertent Superman punch to Dean Ambrose during the matchup, which kind of got you thinking maybe he was going to turn on him, which would have been a perfect setup for this. But instead, we had Roman Reigns looking like the Superman of professional wrestling by saving his best buddy, Dean Ambrose, from being attacked by Braun Strowman, and he spears him through the fucking, through the barricade, and that's it. So from there, we get a moment of acknowledgement that Dean Ambrose might be turning heel, because there's a bunch of guys in the middle of the ring. Seth and Roman Reigns are in the middle of the ring, and they got all the members from the Dogs of War surrounding the ring, getting ready to come in, and Dean Ambrose props up onto the apron. Well, it looked like that was going to happen, but it didn't. Thank God. I thought that would have been a shitty way of turning him heel. That would have been fucking retarded in itself. So thank God they kind of teased that he was going to turn heel, but never did in that situation. What I said, how they should have turned him heel in a certain situation, would have been the best way. Superman punch by Roman Reigns. He's in the corner of the Shield. Dean Ambrose hits dirty deeds. Braun Strowman picks up the victory for his team after the dirty deeds move, and that's it. That's how I would have done it. With Seth Rollins going, "What the hell is wrong with you, Dean?" and blah, blah, blah. But that was not the case. Matchup, though, fucking garbage. Then we get Daniel Bryan and The Miz one-on-one for number one contendership for the WWE Championship. This match actually was looking good. Really, it looked like it was going to turn out to be a good full-length match, and it was cut short. Cut short! It was fucking cut short. With a roll-up pin, Schoolboy by Daniel Bryan beating The Miz. Now, I had nothing against The Miz losing to Daniel Bryan, but why in this fashion? Why this short? Why wasn't this match extended for about another 10 minutes? To give us a full-length match instead of a short and broken-down match that was actually a promising matchup that would have given us something to look forward to out of the entire series of matches they've had for the last 3 months. The best match was their mixed tag team match, which is sad in itself because it wasn't one-on-one. The SummerSlam match was garbage. If anyone wants to tell me that match was good, you're crackers, man. That fucking crowd was dead at SummerSlam for that match and practically dead for everything else on the show, so apparently I guess they didn't get no justice. But watching it alone, with not even paying attention to the crowd, just me personally watching it, I was bored. I did not get entertained by this matchup whatsoever when I watched it. This match, I was getting entertained, they cut it short. Here, and I know why it was cut short. One, they gave the fucking Dogs of War and the Shield match a long extended time. They cut this match short so they can give fucking Triple H and Undertaker a long extended matchup. Which, by the way, now that we're talking about that, I'm just going to break right into the main event. The main event at the end was good, but during the beginning and the middle, I gotta tell you, The Undertaker needs to hang this fucking shit up. He needs to retire now. He is making a mockery out of himself. He moves slow. He's lethargic. He doesn't do anything the way he used to. He is old. I get that. I appreciate his hard work, his dedication to wrestling. I think he was doing it also because he needs the money for some financial reason. I think that is the real reason why he still competes. Because, quite frankly, he's done everything as a professional wrestler you can ask for. He doesn't need another WWE title run. He doesn't need to have any more WrestleMania big matches. I mean, unless you want to put him against AJ Styles and Finn Balor for the last 2 matches of his career, that's fine by me. I would be okay with that. But I am not okay with him continuously having matches with guys like Roman Reigns who don't need any kind of, acknowledgement of their accomplishments in their career. Roman Reigns did not need a victory over The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33. Quite frank with you, that match should have never happened. That's all I have to say on that subject. But Triple H and The Undertaker, I give props. They did the right thing. I mean, Triple H has had a million matches with The Undertaker, and he is yet to ever win. So, I'm glad of that. And I'm glad they gave him the victory. But my God, this matchup, Undertaker needs to hang it up. He needs to give it up and just forget about being a professional wrestler. He doesn't need to do it anymore. And he's not the same level he used to be as a professional wrestler anyway. So, by all means, you take it or leave it with this show. I had fun with it, but it wasn't really, if you had to pay pay-per-view money for this shit, let's say you didn't have the WWE Network, you'd have been very, very pissed off. I mean, let's say it was back in the old days, and we had to pay for pay-per-view to watch this event, you wouldn't have liked it. And you would have been pissed off that you spent the money for it. That's all I have to say on that. But for $9.99, hey, you know what? It's a fun little enjoying event. Great. But that's the thing. Vince McMahon has downplayed his company, his product, and made it where he doesn't need to be serious anymore. And I guess because of his old age, maybe that's a good thing, but at the same time, that doesn't give you value to your company. It devalues your product, and it makes it look like shit. And he needs to be able to delegate this to somebody else who he trusts to make his show good again. Because the way he's doing it, this business model he's got, it's boring. It's boring and it sucks. And it's too politically corporate bullshit. Too much of it. I don't even think during Hulk Hogan's era it was this political. I mean, granted, Hulk Hogan was at the top all the time, but they're political in every aspect of the fucking show. I mean, like, why isn't Samoa Joe WWE champion? That's my question. This guy did everything to build this storyline up, and he looked like a fucking maniac killing machine. Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship? That doesn't smell money to you? That doesn't spell money to you? Come on, man. These two guys are technical wrestlers. Now, granted, Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, that is a good match. It is, regardless of my opinion on who won that match. But Samoa Joe deserved it, number one. Samoa Joe is a heel, number two. And number three, it would have made sense to make Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan's meeting for a WWE Championship would have been even more special than it is right now. But it was announced, though, the crown jewel, the WWE Championship's on the line with AJ and Daniel Bryan. That motherfucker, Daniel Bryan, needs to win the WWE Championship from AJ Styles. AJ Styles needs to lose that title this year. This coming event, he needs to lose. Plain and simple. End of story. Anyway, guys, hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment and opinion down below, and I'll get back to you on that. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great night. Bye. Actually, it's the morning, but, you know, I'm not doing any more videos today, so I'll speak to you guys later. Bye.